Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. It's 1939. The world is on the brink of the deadliest conflict in human history. But this time, it's different. The leaders of World War II are not only armed with tanks, planes, and soldiers, they also have artificial intelligence, real-time data, and the power of social media in their hands. Suddenly, propaganda spreads in seconds. Battle strategies are calculated by supercomputers, and secrets that once took years to uncover are cracked in minutes. The question is, in this alternate reality, who would truly win the war? The Allies or the Axis? World War II was not just a war of weapons. It was a war of information, of propaganda, of strategy. Back then, radio broadcasts and newspapers shaped public opinion. Messages took days, sometimes weeks, to reach soldiers and citizens. But with AI and social media, everything changes. Leaders are no longer limited by time or distance. Every decision, every speech, every piece of propaganda could go viral instantly. So let's step into this alternate reality and explore how each leader would have used these tools, and how history itself might have been rewritten. Adolf Hitler and the Axis propaganda machine. Adolf Hitler was already a master of propaganda. Without AI, his speeches and rallies convinced millions, spreading fear and loyalty across Germany. But imagine if he had TikTok, YouTube, or AI-driven algorithms at his disposal. His fiery speeches could reach billions instantly, amplified by recommendation systems designed to keep people engaged. AI bots could flood comment sections, silencing dissent and boosting Nazi ideology. With deepfake technology, he could create fake videos of enemy leaders, spreading confusion and distrust among the Allies. In this alternate world, Hitler's propaganda might not just dominate Germany. It could spread globally, influencing people far outside Europe. The scary part? Many might believe it. Winston Churchill and the power of words. On the other side stood Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister. He was known for his incredible speeches that inspired his people during their darkest days. Now imagine Churchill with Twitter, live streaming his powerful words to the entire world. His famous line, "We shall never surrender," would trend globally within minutes. He could rally not just Britain, but millions across the world instantly. With AI, he could analyze German propaganda and counter it with facts before it spread too far. In this reality, Churchill's voice wouldn't just be for Britain, it would become the voice of global resistance. Franklin D. Roosevelt and America's AI advantage. Franklin D. Roosevelt, President of the United States, brought hope through his fireside chats on radio. Now picture him with YouTube or podcasts, speaking directly into the homes of millions, not just in America, but worldwide. With AI, Roosevelt's intelligence agencies could crack enemy codes far faster than the historic Enigma breakthroughs. American factories, powered by AI-driven logistics, could produce weapons, planes, and supplies at double the speed. Social media campaigns could strengthen alliances, bringing more nations into the fight against the Axis. Roosevelt would use AI not only for war, but for unity, reminding Americans what they were fighting for and inspiring others to join the cause. Joseph Stalin and digital surveillance. Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union was infamous for his control and paranoia. With AI and digital surveillance, his power would become terrifying. Imagine Stalin using facial recognition and social media monitoring to crush dissent before it even began. AI-powered military planning could help the Soviet Union anticipate German invasions earlier, preventing massive losses like Operation Barbarossa. With propaganda on platforms, Stalin could spread the image of a powerful, unstoppable Soviet Union to intimidate his enemies. In this version of history, Stalin's Soviet Union might rise even faster, becoming not just a war power, but a global digital empire. Emperor Hirohito and Japan's Pacific strategy. On the other side of the world, Japan's Emperor Hirohito and his generals were expanding aggressively across Asia. With AI and social media, Japan's strategy could look very different. They could use AI to optimize naval battles, predicting American movements across the Pacific. Social media propaganda could be used to recruit support from colonized nations, painting Japan as a liberator instead of an invader. With drones and advanced technology, Japan could defend its islands far more effectively against American attacks. But would it be enough to defeat America's industrial and technological power, boosted by AI? That's the big question. Mussolini and the Italian front Benito Mussolini, Italy's fascist leader, relied heavily on image and personality. With Instagram and TikTok, Mussolini would likely flood the internet with photos and videos showing his strength and charisma. AI could help Italy organize campaigns more effectively. But ultimately, Mussolini's weakness was strategy, not propaganda. Even with technology, Italy might still falter when facing the stronger powers of the war. Now, let's think about key turning points of the war. How would AI and social media have changed them? Pearl Harbor. With AI predicting Japanese movements, America might have seen the attack coming and been prepared. Battle of Britain. Churchill's speeches could have rallied not just Britain, but global support instantly. D-Day invasion. AI logistics could make the planning nearly perfect, with real-time updates shared across thousands of soldiers instantly. Atomic bomb decision. With AI modeling long-term consequences, would Truman still drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or find another way? So, who wins? So, who would win World War II in this alternate timeline? The truth is complicated. The Axis, especially Hitler, would have terrifying propaganda power with AI and social media. But the Allies, with America's industry, Roosevelt's unity, and Churchill's words, would have the advantage of using AI for logistics, strategy, and code breaking. Stalin's Soviet Union would still be a major force, using digital surveillance and military AI to crush the Eastern Front. In the end, technology doesn't erase human nature. Greed, ambition, fear, and courage would still decide the outcome. But one thing is certain. With AI and social media, the war would not last 6 years. It would be faster, deadlier, and the world we live in today might look nothing like it does. Conclusion. World War II shaped the modern world we know. But imagining it with AI and social media reminds us of something important. Technology is never neutral. In the wrong hands, it spreads lies and destruction. In the right hands, it builds unity and hope. The question for us today is not what would have happened back then, but how we will use these tools now, in our own time. Because history may not repeat itself, but with technology, it can certainly rhyme.